loves, it's Sam. I wanted to do just a really quick video because I've had so many people asking me about my hair color and how I got it this color and what I used. And I did post a quick little post on Facebook just kind of for the people who had asked about what formula I used. But in case you didn't see it, I figured I would just make a quick video just kind of explaining what I did and what I used. So if you guys haven't watched our vlogs, you kind of don't know the backstory about what happened. Basically, I had my blonde hair and then I went to the salon and asked for lowlights, and then she ended up doing all dark on the bottom and then some lowlights, and it was just really ashy. It just wasn't what I was really looking for. So then I went back to the same salon and it just ended up getting, it was still a little ashy. It just wasn't what I was wanting. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna take matters into my own hands. I used to be a hairstylist, so I did it for many years. So I figured I would just do it myself. So I decided to just go all over dark. And the color that I used was Paul Mitchell. I always work with Paul Mitchell. I love it. It's just something that I'm familiar with. I know exactly what it's going to do on my hair because I've used it in the past. I always recommend going to a salon, to a professional when you are coloring your hair, especially if you're looking into like lowlights or highlights, just because the placement is so much more technical than if you're just doing all over color. I still recommend going and getting all over color at a salon if you are wanting to do that, just because it's a professional. But if you don't have the money, or if you are someone who kind of knows how to do hair yourself and is just looking for the formula, I'm just going to tell you what I used. So Paul Mitchell can only be found at like a beauty supply, but I think it's only at like Cosmoprof or one that you have to have a license to go and buy the stuff at. So it's Paul Mitchell, and it's the color, it's their actual permanent color line. So it's not like the PM Shines or anything like that. It's called Paul Mitchell The Color. Because my roots were more of the natural, I had more of my natural color in there, I wanted to make sure that I went a slight bit darker at my roots, just so that it would kind of blend throughout. So what I did on my roots was 5WB, a 6R, and a 6G. And what I usually do is mix a third of each of those. So if you're going to do 2 ounces per thing, so you'll do 2 ounces of the 6W or the 5WB, 2 ounces of the 6R, and then 2 ounces of the 6G, and then you will do the equal amount, so 6 ounces altogether of the developer. I use 20 volume developer. It works best on my hair. It's just what I've always used in the past when I do my hair dark. If you want to use 10 volume, that's totally up to you. I prefer using 20 volume on my hair, so that's how I always do it. So I put all of that all over my roots. So I do it in a T part, so straight down the middle and then straight back behind the ears. And I always work in sections. So I clip one section up while I'm working in the other one. So I start in the front first just because it was easier for me. And I do my whole entire hairline, and then I did do the whole back hairline, and then I just do straight down the middle, and then just, you know, start doing all of the sections from there. And then I had Jay do the back sections just because it's a little bit harder for me to reach in my arms and tends to get like a super duper cramp. I don't just plop it on and mix it all up. I do each individual section, and that's where sometimes people can go wrong when you are going from blonde to dark. You want to make sure that you are getting it very thoroughly, because if you're just like blobbing it on and then kind of hoping that it all gets in there, you're gonna get these splotches of blonde where the color didn't coat it completely. So you really want to take your time, do each section individually. I usually do about this big, whatever that is, and just make sure that I really coat it on. So I did all of the roots all over the head working in my section. So I did this section first, then this section, then that section, then that section. Then once all of the roots are done, I remixed up color, and this time I did all 6. So 6WB, 6R, and 6G, all equal parts, so a third of each, and then same equal parts of the 20 volume developer. And then I started in the what did I start with? I think I started in the back with this. I had Jay kind of help me in the back. So then start from the bottom. You're just going to start brushing the color all the way down, all the way from where your roots ended to the very ends. Make sure you get it in there really good. You just, if I have to say anything, just take your time and really make sure that you're coating every single strand, because if you have one splotch that you missed, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. And then I worked all of my sections up, oh crap. and then all of my sections up and all of my sections up. Once you're all done, I kind of just like to let it, I kind of just open it up a little bit with my fingers to just kind of let it breathe. And then I very, very loosely just tie them up into the sections. Just because I'm at home, I don't want to get color all over the place. Usually I would just let it kind of just lay down the back if you had like a cape on, but I was walking around the house and it was just, I didn't want to be messy, so I clipped them up very loosely up into the 4 sections, and then I left it on my hair for 35 minutes. So that's usually the normal time that you would use for Paul Mitchell color. I don't know how other brands are. I've never worked with anything other than Paul Mitchell and Pravana. So if there's if there's another brand that you only have to do it for 20 minutes or you have to do 45, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I used and what I know works. So I don't want you to think that if you're using another brand and you're like, well, Sam said to leave it on for 35 minutes. That's just what I did with my color, and that's what I know works. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So once the time was up, I made sure I rinsed it out really, really well. I always like to recommend rinsing it out, not with super duper hot water or super duper warm, kind of like a lukewarm. I just feel like it works the best for me. And then I always make sure I did shampoo twice, just because there's so much color, I have so much hair, so I always like to do one shampoo just to kind of break everything up, and then another shampoo to make sure it's all out of there and it's really clean. And then I followed with my conditioner. I will show you which one I used just so you know. Whoa, it's dripping on me. So I just picked this up at the beauty supply as well. This is Goldwell Dualsenses Color Extra Rich Detangling Conditioner and Fade Stop Shampoo. Smells so good. Oh, I can't describe this scent, but it has raspberry seed oil in it, so maybe it's kind of fruity. It smells really good, and it stays in your hair, like the scent stays in your hair after you get out of the shower and kind of blow dry and everything. Just make sure that you are going to get like a color protect shampoo. If you are coloring your hair, you want to make sure that you're using something that's not going to strip out all of the color. That way it's just going to last a lot longer, look a lot shinier and more vibrant. If you are coloring your hair, I like to wait a good at least 2 days before I shampoo. I just feel like, I always used to tell my clients this, I just feel like it just helps really lock the color in there. I don't know if it's technologically, scientifically correct. It's just what I always recommend and what I've always done with my hair. So I usually try to wait at least 2 days before I wash it again. And it kind of just lets a little bit of your natural oils get into your hair as well. I don't recommend washing your hair every day unless you absolutely have to. Some people do have really oily, fine hair that they have to wash every day. But if you're someone who can kind of get away with washing your hair every other day, which is usually what I do. So I always recommend style your hair the first day and then wear it up the next day. If you do have a little bit of oil in there, just put it up, wear it in a ponytail or put it up in a bun. It's just really good to let your hair kind of take a break from all of the shampoo and just the blow drying and everything that comes along with washing your hair. So every other day is perfectly fine, unless you are someone who is really, really oily and really, really fine hair and you just look like you are just super duper greasy, then you probably have to wash it every day. But if you're someone who has quite thick hair, like my hair tends to be quite dry, it's pretty thick, so that's my 2 cents. Definitely using good product afterwards. You know, make sure that you're using a thermal protector, a color protect, something like a nice oil to make sure that you're protecting against blow drying. But thank you guys so much for all of the sweet compliments on my hair. I know that there's always going to be some people that, you know, prefer it blonde or prefer it one way. And while I do love the blonde and I still love blonde hair and it's beautiful, oh, I forgot to close my bathroom door. It's always fun to have a little bit of a change, especially for fall and winter. I think it's a perfect time to kind of, you know, warm up your hair, just kind of go a little bold or darker than you would normally do. And I absolutely love this color. I think it's so fun, and what I love about it is that it really makes my eyes look super duper blue. It's just nice. It's kind of like, the thing I love about dark hair is that it instantly makes you look more, I don't know what it is. It's like, it gives you a different, like, people view you differently, and it's so weird how that happens. Like, when you're blonde, people view you one way. When you have pink hair, people view you another way. When you have dark hair, it's a whole different, like, I don't know, it's really, really strange. And I've noticed that before. Of all the hair colors I've had, I felt like people were nicer to me when my hair was dark, and it's so weird, but it's always been that way. And I've had my hair dark quite a few times in my life. But it's weird. Let me know if you guys have noticed that with yourselves too. If you've changed your hair from like blonde to dark, or from whatever, if you've noticed a difference in the way strangers interact with you. I just think it's so weird, like the psyche of people. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thanks for the sweet compliments. I was so like happy to see that so many people were like, oh my gosh, I love your hair, it looks awesome. So thank you. You guys always make me feel so good, and I love you all, and I hope that I've inspired you, if you're kind of in a hair rut and you're a little bored, to go and do something that you wouldn't normally do that's a little wild. It's not like this is a wild color, but you know, from blonde to this, it's kind of wild. So thank you guys, and if you do decide to color your hair, please post a picture on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!